My mom told everyone I'm ungrateful, so I exposed her lies at dinner. I grew up being told that family is everything. My mom used to say it like a mantra, as if repeating it often enough would make it true. But the older I got, the more I realized that in our house, family really just meant keep your mouth shut, do what mom wants and don't make her look bad. I'm 28 now and I've been out of the house for 6 years. You'd think that by now I'd be free from her emotional grip. But somehow she always finds a way to drag me back in. Guilt trips, manipulation, the occasional you never call anymore text. And the kicker? She's the type who will badmouth you to everyone but act like Mother Teresa in public. It all came to a head a few months ago at a family dinner that I'll never forget. For a little context, my mom has always had a talent for exaggeration. When I was in college, she'd tell people she was supporting me financially, even though I worked 2 jobs and took out loans. When I bought my first car, she told relatives she co-signed for it. She didn't. She even once told my aunt that she paid my rent for a year after I moved out. That was completely false. But recently she leveled up her game. Apparently she started telling everyone that I'm ungrateful, selfish, and forgot where I came from. I didn't even know she was doing this until my cousin messaged me one night. He said, "Hey, I just wanted to check on you. Your mom was saying some stuff at dinner about you cutting her off financially or something. You good?" I was stunned. I had never cut her off financially, because I had never been giving her money in the first place. I asked what exactly she said and he sent me a voice note. In it, my mom was telling the whole table that after everything she sacrificed for me, raising me alone, my dad was around by the way, paying for my fancy college, and helping me get on my feet, I abandoned her and pretend not to know her when I'm successful. I remember sitting in bed listening to that audio over and over. My jaw literally dropped. It was all lies, like not even slightly twisted truths but full-on fiction. And it made me angry. Not just because she was smearing me but because this was exactly what she's done my entire life. Twist stories until she's the victim. I spent a few days stewing. I called my dad, they divorced when I was 17, and he just sighed and said, "You know how your mother is. She thrives on drama. Don't feed it." But this time felt different. I was tired of her painting me as some spoiled, heartless daughter when she's the one who's been emotionally draining me for years. So when she texted me out of the blue a week later, "Family dinner Sunday night. Be there," I decided I'd had enough. I was going to go. And I was going to expose the truth. That Sunday I showed up at her house with a bottle of wine and a polite smile, acting like everything was normal. My mom loves playing hostess, so the table was immaculate. Candles, matching plates, the works. My aunt, uncle, cousins, and even my grandmother were there. Everyone was chatting and laughing, but I could feel the tension when I walked in. You know that fake silence that falls when people have been talking about you? Yeah. That. My mom greeted me with her usual over-the-top affection. "There's my beautiful girl," she said loudly, pulling me into a hug. "I wasn't sure if you'd even make it. You're so busy these days." I smiled. Wouldn't miss it. We sat down and dinner started off normal enough. Small talk, jokes, food passing around. But my mom couldn't resist making jabs. "So," she said halfway through, "how's your big fancy job? I hope you're not working too hard to remember your poor mother." A few people chuckled awkwardly. My aunt gave me that sympathetic, "just let it go" look. I forced a smile. "It's going well. Busy, yeah. But I always make time for family." Mom raised an eyebrow. "Oh really? Because I haven't seen a single phone call from you in months. I guess success makes people forget where they came from." And that was it. That was the moment I decided I wasn't going to stay quiet anymore. I put down my fork and said, "Actually, Mom, I do remember where I came from. I just don't remember the part where you paid for my college or supported me financially after I moved out. Because that never happened." The table went dead silent. My mom blinked, clearly not expecting me to say anything. "What are you talking about?" she said, forcing a laugh. "Of course I did. You've just forgotten." "No," I said calmly. "I haven't forgotten. I still have the emails from my financial aid office. I worked 2 jobs in college. You didn't pay a cent. And my car? Bought it myself. My rent? I paid every month on my own. You've been telling people otherwise, though. Can you explain why?" My uncle looked up. "Wait, she said you were sending her money every month now that you're working." I almost laughed. "Nope. Never happened. My mom's face turned red. I can't believe you'd embarrass me like this, she hissed. Kept my tone even. I'm not embarrassing you. I'm correcting the record. You've been spreading lies about me for years, Mom. And honestly, I'm done letting you make me the villain in your stories. She tried to talk over me, but I wasn't finished. You've told people I don't care about you, that I abandoned you, that I'm ungrateful. But let's be real. Every time I've tried to help, you've either guilt-tripped me or turned it into a pity show. You don't want help. You want control. You could have heard a pin drop. My mom's mouth opened and closed like she couldn't decide whether to yell or cry. My grandmother broke the silence first. Is that true? She asked softly. My mom tried to deflect. You know how she is, always dramatic, always exaggerating. I cut in. I'm not exaggerating. You told Aunt Mel you paid for my education. You told Grandma that I cut you off. You even told my cousin I'm too proud to visit. None of that is true. Then, because I'd had enough, I pulled out my phone. I had screenshots, texts where she guilt-tripped me, emails showing my own payments, everything. I didn't shove them in anyone's face, but I laid the phone on the table and said, I have proof of everything I'm saying. If you want to see it, it's all here. My mom's voice cracked. You're trying to destroy me in front of my own family. No, I said quietly. You did that yourself when you decided to lie about me. She got up from the table and stormed into the kitchen, slamming a door. Everyone just sat there in shock. My aunt finally said, I honestly didn't know. I shrugged. That's the problem. None of you did. She's been spinning stories for years. And I've been too scared of being the bad daughter to say anything. Dinner ended awkwardly after that. People mumbled goodbyes. My grandmother hugged me before leaving and whispered, I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. I stayed behind to help clean up, mostly because I didn't want to leave things like that. When my mom finally came out of the kitchen, her eyes were red. She said, You really humiliated me tonight. I said, No, Mom. You humiliated yourself by lying. I just told the truth. She didn't respond. I left after that, my heart pounding but feeling lighter. Over the next week, the fallout was intense. My mom called multiple relatives trying to spin it again, now claiming I'd attacked her for no reason. But the difference this time was that people didn't believe her. My aunt texted me saying, I think your mom needs help. She's been doing this for a long time. For once, the narrative wasn't in her control. I won't lie, I cried that night. It's not easy realizing that the person who's supposed to love you unconditionally has spent years tarnishing your name. But it was also freeing. Since that dinner, I've gone low contact. I don't block her, but I don't engage either. When she sends guilt-trippy texts like, I guess you don't need a mother anymore, I don't reply. When she tries to call, I let it go to voicemail. And slowly, I've started to reclaim my peace. Here's the thing, people like my mom don't change unless they want to. For years, I thought if I just explained things clearly enough or gave enough or forgave enough, she'd finally see me as her daughter instead of her scapegoat. But she doesn't want truth or understanding. She wants control. That dinner wasn't about revenge. It wasn't even about proving I was right. It was about finally standing up and saying, you don't get to rewrite my story. And yeah, maybe some people still think I was harsh. But honestly, I don't care anymore. Because for the first time in my life, my voice was louder than her lies. And that's something she'll never be able to take away again.